This video is about leading virtual teams with OKRs. OKRs is a short term for objectives and key results and helps you to bring alignment to your team for both local teams and virtual teams. OKRs were initially created by Google and they are consisting of two components. The first thing is objectives and the second thing is key results. So what's the difference? The objective is the direction. The objective means, for example, we want to crush revenue, we want to boost revenue, we want to make our customers a fan. So these are two examples of objectives. Objectives are the direction, but they are not targets. They are not goals or key results. They are just a direction, so they are not precisely measurable, nor do they have a unit or an exact number. So they give the team the direction in which the company, the team, or a person wants to move forward to. The key results, they clearly define the measurements and the target numbers so that we all can understand when we reached our goal defined by the objective. So, for example, we have an objective that means we want to make customers a real fan. That's an objective. The key results could be, so first we need to understand where we are right now. A measurement of measuring customer satisfaction is the Net Promoter Score, for example. So that could be the measurement, the unit. But to be able to set a realistic key result, you first need to understand where you are standing now. So that means you need to ask your customers about the NPS score to get a first status quo if you don't have it. And then you can set a realistic key result for improving this NPS. It is not a key result to ask 100 customers, nor is it a key result to send 100 surveys, because that's a task. The key result is to get or receive 100 Net Promoter Score filled surveys. So you want a result. You don't want a task that you have to do. You want a result. That's the key result. So one key result could be we want to have 100 customers giving us feedback via the Net Promoter Score. The unit is NPS, Net Promoter Score, and the target number is 100. That's a clear key result. You can add multiple key results to one objective. For example, when we have the objective, we want to boost revenue, or we want to hit record revenue numbers in Q1. So remember, objectives and key results are always quarterly based. So we create the objectives and key result planning for every quarter. If we stay with this example, then we need, so the objective was to have record numbers in revenue, and the key result could be or has to be split into two different things from my experience. Because you have to be very precise. So what is revenue? Is it revenue that you've created invoices for? Is revenue something or defined in your organization by how much sales closed? And is it new deals or deals with existing customers? So I want you to understand that it's very important to be very precise here. You need to understand how to measure it and where to measure it. Make your thoughts before the end of the quarter, how you want to measure this and to get the results. Otherwise, you will do something during the quarter and later you don't have any idea how to get these numbers from. So you might have to rebuild or update your controlling systems so that you're able to track these numbers. Otherwise, OKRs have no sense if you don't have all the tools to be able to measure real key results. So when we have this example that we want to boost or hit record numbers in revenue, it could be we want to have 10 million revenue in closed deals from new customers. And then we want to have 5 million of revenue from existing customers. That could be two key results below the objective. We want to hit record revenue numbers. And from the rhythm, from the habit, so OKRs are there to develop a habit of achieving goals, of doing what really matters instead of just doing something. and of measuring what really matters instead of measuring everything. That is a very important thing, that you focus on what matters. By the way, that's a very good book or audiobook. The name is Measure What Matters. I can highly recommend listening to this audiobook. So when you want to establish this rhythm, this habit of setting goals and achieving goals, you have to understand that OKRs, objectives and key results, are very ambitious stretch goals. So it's not a forecast. You don't want to just do what you always did just to get the same results that you've always gotten. You want to have a stretch goal. You want to stretch your company. You want to achieve something amazing, not that the things that you always achieve. Okay, that's more like a KPI. You do the same things consistently and you get the same things that you've gotten in the past. So with OKRs, you want to have ambitious goals, stretch goals, and that requires to have the team sit down and really think about what they can contribute to the company goal. There are two different approaches. The one thing is you can have this OKR planning from top down, or you can have it from bottom up. I have experience with both, and my preferred version is that I want to have the planning from bottom up. Because if I dictate my goals of the company as CEO to every department, to every team, to every individual, they might not have the same commitment for these goals, for these key results and objectives, as if they come up with their own solutions and key results. So what I do is I set the objectives, the direction of the company, creating company level based objectives, not key results, just objectives. So for example, if we stick to my previous example, hitting record numbers in revenue, making our customers a real fan of us, maybe decreasing or becoming highly profitable and decreasing overhead. These could be all objectives. And then I create a video. I prefer asynchronous communication instead of having meetings with endless discussions. So I create a video presenting my objectives as the lead of the company. And I share this video with everyone in the company. They get access to a tool. If you want to know which tools we are using for OKRs, just leave a comment below the video. I will send it over to you. So then everyone knows the objectives, and they discuss in the team which objectives they can set that contribute to the company objectives. And they also define the key results to their objectives. And they link their objectives below my company objectives. And this is done from company level, then we have the team level, and individuals can do this in the same way. They can also define objectives and below the key results. So you will create, or your team will create, a chain of alignment. I mean, that brings real focus and alignment to your organization instead of having people doing something and nobody knows what they do and how this what they are doing contributes to the overall objectives. In most organizations, and even in before we introduced OKRs, we had exactly these problems, that we were missing alignment. So once the objectives and key results by these teams are clearly defined, I review them, and as we have full transparency about OKRs of everyone is responsible to review key results and objectives and make sure that they really align to the company objective. For example, if you have the objective to invest in marketing and decrease costs, that's a contradiction. So these key results will not support each other. So you need to resolve this conflict. Another thing is, if you have an objective like hitting record numbers in revenue, but on the other side, marketing wants to decrease their costs, that might not lead to the result, because marketing needs to support this initiative, needs to support these objectives to hit record numbers in revenue. So that is very important, but it gets very, very clear for everyone in the organization to understand how their specific objectives and key results contribute to the overall objectives of the organization. And that's very important, because you want many brains to lead, to steer, to control the whole ship, the whole company into this direction, instead of just having me as a brain and everyone else is just following my advice. Okay, that's the idea of objectives and key results. And then we have weekly plannings. Like every week, person Every employee, every freelancer, whoever works with a company sits down and really checks their key results. So as we track the key results clearly, they can understand where they are behind. And based on that, they decide what matters most, what they can contribute most, what they should do, and what is most important to move the bar closer to the goal, to move the bar of the key result closer to 100%. Okay, it's not that you have to do something, it's that you have to do the most important thing. And that's what we understand to do in our weekly planning. We identify activities that we need to get done this week. Not everything, not project related, just related to your objectives and key results to move them forward. And then plan your week and make sure you get it done, no matter what. Get it done, and then you know you have a good feeling because you focused on what is most important. And after the quarter ends, so 2 weeks before the quarter ends, we start with planning for the next quarter. So I set up the key results, the objectives and key results for the company, and then all the other teams contribute theirs. And once the quarter completed, once the quarter ended, we make a review and we want to understand what we did well and what could be even better. We want to understand what we can learn from the last quarter so that we can be even better and continue what we did great in the next quarter. That's objectives and key results. If you have questions, just post them below the video and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.